Woo, chat. What's up, tribe? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining me on this late night live. You were bored, Jonathan. If you want to come up, let me know. If you want to come up and add your expertise, let me know, babe. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let's share this with the bullet. Listen, I asked my producer. I said, listen, he's still out here talking. I said, I kind of want to go live, but do you think people are tired of talking about him? Do you think my people are over him and tired of talking about him? Let me know when you're ready backstage, babe. Let me know when you're ready. I see you getting yourself together, honey. But she said, go on and talk about it and let's do some call-ins. So I said, well, we can do some call-ins. So if you are a member, you already have the link. It is posted on the community wall. And I'll drop the link for everybody else in a few minutes, but I'm gonna give members the first opportunity to come up and see if they want to say anything. But I got my co-host here with me tonight, y'all. I got my co-host with me tonight. As soon as she get herself together, she look like she putting together she got some technical difficulties going on over there. Is Abby gonna watch Sandman? I'll let you ask her when she comes up here. Nope, he's the gift that keeps giving. That's how I feel about it, Nico. He is the gift that keeps giving. Listen, I be trying to ignore this man. I promise y'all. Because I thought he'd shut up. I said they done finally got to that man and got him to shut his mouth. They done finally got to that man. That's what I thought. And lo and behold, this afternoon, I'm scrolling. Y'all know how I like to scroll, honey. I'm scrolling through YouTube, and he done another interview. I said, sir, will you just shut up? And then I read, I don't know if y'all knew that there was an article written on the New York Post or the New York Times. I think it was the New York Post. About him. So the New York Post sort of gives us more information on his criminal past. So I thought that was interesting because Tracy is my producer. Y'all, Tracy, I keep telling y'all Tracy my producer, child. Tracy be sending me stories and all kinds of stuff. Tracy be keeping me up. Some of the stuff, Tracy be keeping me up. I ain't lying. She be keeping me up. I don't even know these people until you started about it, and I have been cackling ever since. I didn't know him, even though he keeps telling people he the most known bishop. He's known worldwide. He didn't say most known. He said he's one of the most known bishops worldwide. And I'm just trying to figure out what world he's living in because I don't know that world. Because I don't know you, sir. How's the story going to end? The story going to end with his ass in jail. You ready backstage? Okay. All right. Come on up, co-host.
My co-host.
Listen. Now y'all
what world is he famous in? Who knew him?
Listen. Oh, and thank you for re-enrolling in your membership, boo. Thank you, boo.
Listen, I had to do you, mother, and El Teddy. Like, why you people ain't take the money?
Yo, YouTube does that periodically. YouTube, because El Teddy said they screwed up his membership. Because remember, he asked me last week. He was like, "Am I lit up in green?" Because he was like, I don't know if my membership. YouTube does that from time to time. I don't know if they do it because it's a recurring charge and maybe they just want to make sure you mean it. I don't know.
Yeah,
hey, y'all. What's up, boo? If you want to come up, let me know. I'll send you the link if you want to come up. I'm not going to be before you long. In the famous last words of every pastor. I'm not going to be before you long because, listen.
First of all, I press pause on the Sandman to come do this. So I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now. I'm in.
What is the Sandman? Is this a Marvel thing?
It's on Netflix. It's not a Marvel thing. It's on Netflix. It's a show literally about the Sandman.
Like Mr. Sandman.
Yes. But his name is called, that's one of his names. But he goes by Lord Morpheus or the Dream, the Endless. It's a lot. I'm all the way in though.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all, I need to let y'all know I took my nephew to the pool today. And we went out to lunch. Me, him, and my mama. Y'all, that little niglet wore me out. I ain't lying.
Don't do the baby. Don't do the baby.
Baby, he wore me out. I had to come home and take a nap. That's why I didn't go live. I had to come home. I left my mama house. I had to stop by the mall. I was looking for something at the mall, which of course I could not find. I was looking for some cute, comfortable capris to wear on the plane. And I know it's the end of the season, so I didn't expect it to be a large selection. But all they had was like jean. Either they had jean capris or leggings. And I didn't want either. I didn't want leggings.
I want you to have like a sweatshirt material.
That's what I want. I want the
try Target.
They had some, but they didn't have the one. They had them, but they didn't have them in my size. They had exactly what I was looking for, but of course they didn't have my damn size. I have some like that, but I just didn't want to wear those on the plane because we'll have a washer and dryer when we get to Saint-Tropez, but I'm not going to have a washer and dryer in Paris. So I didn't want to wear them on the plane and I wanted to wear something that I didn't care about wearing again. I may run to Target tomorrow while I'm out because I got to run out.
For a flight that long, I would definitely like.
Yeah, that's why I want jeans.
Like a plain white t-shirt, like this and some
gray, very comfortable. Yeah,
something super comfortable and some Crocs. And I would even put on.
Oh, I'm wearing my Crocs, child. I'm wearing my Crocs.
Well, I would wear a Croc adjacent. My Crocs would be from Walmart, but still.
I'm wearing my Crocs and I'm wearing a pair of socks just in case my feet get cold. I really don't wear socks that often, but I'm gonna wear a pair just in case my feet get cold. I can always take them off. But yeah, anyway, y'all, we went off on a whole different subject. That let you know. But let me say hi to the people and then we're gonna get this party started. What's up, Lemon Kush, y'all? Hey, Diamond Pearl. Hey, Nico. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tanisha. How you doing? Hey, Tan. Hey, Diamond Pearl. Hey, Just Coco. Hey, Tan. This is going to be funny. I love when she discussed this food. Oh, we're about to get this party started. I was so bored. Glad somebody went live. This intro always gives me ancient porno vibes. Thank you, nephew. Thank you for the ancient porno vibes. I'm not doing this with my nephew.
Now that he said that.
Right. Now that he said it, I can't get it out of my head. I'm going to have to change music now. Damn you. Anyway. Let's go. I'm ready to plan an intervention for Really Be about this pastor scare.
Not the intervention, child. Talk about you talking about this man too much.
Me. Hey, Diva. Hey, Boo. What is this bootleg Bishop hollering about now? I've been watching his foolishness every day like a soap opera, and I wait for your chats, child. We about to chat.
Because every day this nigga
tabernacle are now open. He gonna talk his way into prison. The New York Post is racist as hell. Well, listen. They might be. I don't know them like that. But I know this article, they outlined what he had. And I mean, that was based on the document. So it is what it is, child. Him on Big Fendi IG let me know he full of ish. Fendi was talking about paying for head, and the bishop said, bring me up.
Wait, what? He said the bishop said what?
First of all, I don't know who Big Fendi is. Am I supposed to know? Is he a rapper or something? Am I supposed to know?
I don't know who he is, but but YouTube know I've been listening to this pastor bullshit, and it showed me the interview that he did with.
Yeah, I saw it, but I just don't know who he is. What's up, Retro? Hey, Boo. If you want to come up, let me know. I'll send you the link. If you want to come up and talk, I know you may or may not be available to talk, but. And the Alphabet Boys have collected every interview. Exactly. The Alphabet Boys, listen. He's going to talk from behind bars. I'm from New York and know plenty of the church community. Hubby from Brooklyn. I used to be a deaconess and I never heard of him before this. Child. Well, listen, there was some lies. I got my notes. Yeah, I know I got my notes. So there was some lies told. We're going to talk about it. He don't take the money. They don't take the money monthly. I never heard of him until this stage robbery. The lies. So we about to be
fallacies.
Yeah, we about to be here for about an hour. I ain't gonna be here all night. I did my Bell Collective review already. I just gotta upload it, but I have not looked at Ready to Love because for some reason it didn't record Ready to Love, so I had to record it. It comes back on at 11. So
I haven't watched Bell Collective or Ready to Love, and I'm going to go get my brows done in the morning, and then I'll come back and do them.
Please wear basic colors the way they arresting people overseas for nothing. What that got to do with basic colors, though? Is that going to help them arrest? I mean, I'm not being funny. What the colors got to do with what I wear on the plane and me getting arrested? I don't. You're gonna have to help me out with that one. Hey, Lady Tanya. Hey, boo. That's a new name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here's the person that found Nikki. Found Nikki what?
In the
Oh, Big
gutter.
Fendi is the person that
He
found
found her
Nicki
in the
Minaj.
gutter and dusted off.
He's supposed to be Nicki Minaj's old manager. Well, how many old managers did she have? Big Deb was her manager. Side note: have you seen any of Nicole's exes from Big Brother? Yeah, child. She blaming everybody. It's everybody else's fault. I was following my alliance. I never saw the stuff. I was just going along with what everybody else said. Child, bye, boo. Anyway, and then she talking about every time they bring up that incident, where her and Daniel basically cussed that girl out, had her in tears. Then all of a sudden it's, well, I really need to go back and look at that. I need to go look at that. No, but basically what she's saying is I need to go see what y'all saw so I know how to answer this question because you was there. Why do you need to go back and look at the edited version of what happened when you lived it? Like, that don't even make no sense to me. Usually it's the other way around. Well, I only saw the edited version. I need to go back and see the real version. Big Fendi is a big deal. Well, call me ignorant because I don't know who he is. I didn't know him. So
I'm a
not
big
saying
deal
he's
at
not a big
Crumble
deal. I just
Cookie.
didn't know him.
Like,
What? Okay, so let's talk. First of all, okay, so we're gonna talk about two different things. Okay, the first thing we're gonna talk about is the interview he did with, was it All Hip Hop Wired or something like that? It's a hip hop.
I fell asleep on it. I tried to watch it, but I fell asleep because he wouldn't talk about nothing. And then I felt like he was increasingly sweaty. Like he went Whitney Houston on us, where he started off dry, and by the time he was done, his whole face was glistening, like he had dumped a whole bunch of Fenty on his face. So I was,
child. It gave real police media training. Yeah, because she definitely did a better job of answering the questions. But yeah, girl. OMG, the live version was so much worse than the editing did. That's what I'm saying, Danny. I'm like, the edited version really wasn't as bad as I mean, it was bad. No, let me put a pin in that. It was bad, but the actual live feeds were horrible. So that's why I'm not understanding why you need to go look at it before you can speak on it, ma'am. You lived it. You did it. You did it. Okay, so let's go back to so. First of all, let's start with this right here, Ebby. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, Ebby. I'm not putting you on the spot. I ain't putting you on the spot. But if you don't know, just say, "Girl, I can't think of that right now." But you grew up in the church.
Yes.
You a PK. I know that you are. You found you a new church after the situation shipped down to your last church with the yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know you're very active in your church now. You're even taking some classes and stuff. I'll let you speak on that. That's your business. But let me ask you this question.
Yes.
If I were to say to you, can you tell me your top 5 pastors? And they don't even have to necessarily be public pastors. They don't have to be famous pastors. But if I ask you, listen, in your lifetime of going to church and being called by the Lord in the capacity that you feel you've been called, can you name me 5 people who have influenced you to this point?
Yes. Pastor Sheely from Jefferson Park Baptist Church.
You ain't got to tell me where they're from. Just give them a shot.
My daddy, Pastor Hicks. My current pastor, Michael Roach.
I know you better say.
Oh God, what's that man's name? I can see his face, Jesus.
You better say Jonathan. I'm just saying.
My husband, Jonathan.
I'm just saying for the purposes of this conversation, you just better throw Jonathan in there, child. All right, and the man you can't remember. Now listen. And the reason why I said that is, now, can you name me your top 5?
God, it was a man on TV though, and he was, oh God, he's a black pastor that was on TV every Sunday, and I can't remember the thing. No, Deliverance. Oh God, I can't think of that man's name. Saved my life, but he was very because every Sunday he was on our TV.
I'm just joking. Now I do enjoy Jonathan, and I have watched, especially since the Panorama. I watched Jonathan. I'm not gonna lie and say I watch every Sunday. But I watch more than I don't watch.
No, anyway, not
I shared out. So y'all better go on and get you. Y'all better go on and get you some of that Jonathan be giving y'all. Okay, listen. Now, the other night when he was down to the Fat Joe situation being interviewed, Fat Joe asked him that exact same question. He could only name 3. And of course, they were all like mega church pastors that had some sort of name attached to them, right? But this dude asked him who
That's what it is. Fred Price. I'm sorry.
I do like Fred Price. I used to watch Fred Price when I lived in North Carolina.
That's
I do like Fred Price.
Yes.
I used to like, who's that white woman? I can see Joyce her face right now. Huh?
Joyce Meyer?
I used to like Joyce Meyer when I lived in North Carolina. Joyce Meyer used to crack me up. But you know,
come up, baby.
Well, come on up, Jonathan. Hold on. Abby, can you send him the link? Please. Sure. Thank you. So, but the interview asked him, that was the first question, or one of the first questions the interviewer asked him, who his top 5 rappers were. And he could name them like bloop, 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 bloop. Right?
I got Drake. That's it.
Child. And right, I already know you, yeah.
I'm not a rapper girl. Wait, no. LL Cool J.
Uh-huh.
Drake. Jay-Z.
Thank you, Danny.
Lil Wayne.
All right. Jonathan, you want to come up with your face showing, or you want to be back screen?
Chuck Rock.
Did you say Chuck Rock?
Mm-hmm.
1990, Chuck Rock jumps up on the scene with a lean and a bucket full of green. You ready? Jonathan, let me know if you're ready. Oh, you ready? Okay.
What's up?
What's up, little bro? Now listen.
He watching the Good Times in the
yeah. Y'all excuse the jump back there.
It's fine.
You good. I don't know if they're gonna flag me for having jump, but it's the volume not on. I should be all right.
Okay.
So yeah. So anyway, so I know this pastor been irritating your soul, Jonathan. That's why I said you can come on up. I know he has been irritating your soul.
Yeah, he's weird.
Now, of course, he had to tell the whole story again about the robbery, which every time he tells the story, he gives us more information than we had before. And so this time, what he added to the story was that nobody got hurt in the robbery, well, except for one of his deaconesses broke her foot getting on the ground. Now, listen. How we ain't heard about this deaconess before now that broke her foot?
Why wasn't that in the initial news story along with
right? Like you would think somebody would have mentioned.
They would have been like one lady was injured and had to go to the hospital.
Right, the ambulance or something. I mean, so I just think it's interesting that every time he tells the story, he got to add to it. But of course, he had to tell the story again. He had to talk about his daddy again. Yada yada yada. Boo boo.
Maybe she got brittle bones.
I don't know, but she broke her foot, child. Now, before he said that his church has been in therapy all week. One of these interviews, he said his church had been in therapy all week. But on this interview, he said he had one therapy session for the church and he got to set up a second one. So I don't know how he went from they was in church, they was in therapy every day to they had one therapy session. But okay.
Who's the therapist? Him?
I guess he's therapizing them through the fake robbery. Okay. He said, now of course he had to say he was one of the best known bishops in the world. Child, I don't know who know you because don't nobody know you. Nobody knows you, sir.
Jonathan, is he well known as a bishop?
I would say
in your circles.
He's not in the hip hop community, maybe because he has a lot of connections in the hip hop community. But he ain't no TD Jakes or nothing.
Well, Kenneth, Jonathan be rocking that Aggie pride. He an Aggie.
Oh yeah, Aggie pride, most definitely.
Child. Now, he did call himself the hip hop bishop, going back to what Jonathan just said.
Yeah.
Now, he claimed that he gave the eulogy at Biz Markie's funeral. That is a lie. The lie detector test determined that was a lie because my boy Al Sharpton did the eulogy at Biz Markie's funeral.
Did they have more than one eulogy?
You can have more than one eulogy, but I'm just gonna show you what I Googled it.
Can we get a copy of the program?
Or
Was
maybe
he
He was
one of
probably
those
let me say this. He was probably there and he probably spoke.
Yeah.
But giving the eulogy is two different things. But you're right. Maybe you can have more than one eulogy. But now I believe he was there and I believe he spoke.
He has connection to all of that. Like, I think it's New Jersey gang when it comes to Tretch, Vinny, Queen Latifah. He knows all of them.
Right, because this right here say Biz Markie funeral is Monday. Reverend Al Sharpton to deliver eulogy. It don't say nobody else here. But again, now I believe he was there and I believe he spoke. Now that I don't doubt. Then they were every time he answered a question, he was name dropping. He must have dropped every hip hop, like you just said, Jonathan. He must have dropped every name, every hip hop person that we ever met, child. Everybody was he know this person. He was cool with Warren G. He was at when DC had the All-Star game. He was there with Snoop Dogg. He was a mentor to all of these rappers and all the child. He said he won't name who his other mentees because that might he don't want to put people out there. But he even said that he was mentoring Keisha Cole when Antonio Brown embarrassed her. He said, but it was only for a short while. I talked to her. It sounded like you called her and she answered the phone. I don't know, because that literally just happened 2 months ago, and they literally were dating for like a week. Like, sir, it wasn't that serious. Like, I don't understand.
He know all of these rappers, but does he know Jesus? Because it doesn't feel like it.
Apparently not, because he be quoting the wrong Bible scriptures.
He did it in this interview. He kept dropping Bible scripture, and I was like, sir, that's not right.
Was that the Proverbs 105?
Jesus.
Why he trying to say I didn't say Proverbs? I said the right. What was the right book? It's not Proverbs. It was
I can't even remember what scripture he did.
It's the other one that started with a P.
What,
Psalms?
Or Philippians?
It was Psalms and not Proverbs. And he tried to say, I didn't say Proverbs. I said Psalms. Somebody did a TikTok that literally played the clip of him saying Psalm, right? Proverbs, right? I'm like, sir, just say you made a mistake. Like, people make mistakes. Just say I was I was trying to talk so fast. But that's how people just can't believe nothing you say because you just be lying.
He lies.
He feels like he was targeted because of what happened when he was a part of turning in that guy who shot the other guy down to the subway. He said he felt like that's what got him targeted. Well, first of all, you put yourself in something that ain't had nothing to do with you. But I don't think that's why you were targeted, sir. But anyway.
I want to know who's calling him like Superman to come handle all of these things.
It sounds like he calling people ain't calling him, but that's a child.
I just have questions. That's all.
Once again, he plugged his quote unquote free classes that he keeps saying are worth $5,000. He plugged it. He told everybody the website. So he said he's gonna be doing a new class soon. If y'all want to sign up, I'm not going to give y'all the website.
If you're stupid enough to sign up, I will come to your house and fight you.
That's why I said I'm not going to give nobody the website. I'm not going to
write this down. Okay.
I ain't giving nobody the website. So
you gonna write it? You writing it?
Yeah.
He said that his church is not poor, and people need to stop acting like his church is so poor and he flossing in front of his church. He said his parishioners come to church with their Fendi on and their red bottoms and their homeowners and business owners, and they are not poor. But he also said,
but are they going to hell fooling with you?
Child. He also said that
all right.
On the block classes. He also said that that your pastor should show. I'm paraphrasing y'all, so I'm not quoting him. But basically, what he was saying is, if you're following a pastor who ain't doing good, then basically you need to question why you following that person. Like, it's nothing wrong with seeing that your pastor's doing well, because you got to see how God is blessing him. Because why would you believe if you don't see where the blessings are? And I'm like, but you do know there are other ways that you could be blessed other than monetarily. Like, you living in $1 million home and driving a $500,000 car don't mean God blessing you. But anyway, don't give me. I don't want to go down that line. I don't even. Hey, Jay Parrish, how you doing, baby? Then he said that he kind of got a problem with Mace, the rapper Mace, because he don't like how Mace left the church. He said that, you know, he started his church saying he was saved and he was delivered from that lifestyle, and then he left the church and went right back to that lifestyle. And he wanted to have a conversation with Mace because he just felt like they need to clear the air. He said one of Mace,
that man does not know you. Leave him alone.
Don't care to know you. He said that one of Mace's parishioners called him.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, and that she was gay and she wasn't gay no more. And then after Mace left the church the way he did, he said she wanted to unalive herself.
That's unfortunate. And we pray for her deliverance in her spirit. But he is a man of God.
He doubled down. He once again doubled down on the F word, which I'm not even going to keep entertaining that. Okay. But he doubled down on that, and he kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it. Child.
So I have a question. If God's first commandment is to love, what is loving about you using that word, sir? Help me understand, because that doesn't make any sense.
Especially when people tell you it's offensive. It doesn't matter what you looked up in your urban dictionary and what definition you decided to invent. You know the intent and you know how you used it. He said, well, I wasn't calling Larry Reed that. I was just saying he's soft. He a punk. He said, my uncle used to call me that all the time. And I didn't know nothing about homosexuality, so I know that's not what he was calling me. No, that's what your uncle was calling you.
That's what he was calling you, baby. And the fact that
it's a troll in the chat, y'all. Can y'all get that troll out for me, please?
You want me to start addressing some of this? I've been taking notes.
Okay, real quick. Let me, because we got two things we're going to talk about. The first one is this is the interview, and then we're going to talk about the article. So let me finish going through the interview. I'm almost done, and then we can talk. Okay. So when they started talking about his lawsuits and stuff, he compared himself to Donald Trump. He said, listen, when you in real estate, because they were talking about how he got these liens and how he behind on all these bills. He said, people don't understand how real estate works. And when you flipping houses and when you building stuff, like you pay who need to be paid when you need to pay them. And, you know, just because you were a little late, that don't mean nothing. He said, and even with that, they ain't filing the proper paperwork, meaning, yeah, I'm not paying my bills. Yeah, I'm behind on my bills. But because they didn't file the proper paperwork, I'm good for another couple of months. That's what that translated to me. And
so just because you keep changing the spelling of your name doesn't mean you don't owe the bill.
What it is, right? Then he gonna compare himself to Donald Trump. Talking about something. Look at how many times Donald Trump been sued. Like that's what the name of the game is, sir. Anytime you have lost any argument you had when you compare yourself to Donald Trump, the argument is just lost. He said that Bishop Whitehead is trending around the world.
Yeah, as a fool.
Right. And one thing I didn't know is that Foxy Brown is his cousin. Now, that's the one lie I think I do believe. Because I think that's how he got in the world of hip-hop is through her.
Who?
Foxy Brown. And he kept calling her by her government name. And I feel like that might be one of the things that is that's true, that Foxy Brown is his cousin. And I said, oh, well, that might be how he kind of got, weaved in. He said that.
And she let him in because she couldn't hear him out that one ear.
Abby!
You can blame Remy Ma because without her, I wouldn't have known that. You relate that Remy Ma. Because she said that girl with one ear from untreated gonorrhea, and I haven't been able to unhear it since.
He said one of the chains that they stole had over 100 carats in it. Sir.
Lies and fallacies. Sir. Was that the one of the two pieces that was insured, sir?
Right. Is that one of the ones that was actually insured? Then he said that he don't know the value of all that was taken from. He don't know what the value is. Now that's a lie too. See, you can't have it both ways. If it's insured, then there's a value. If it's not insured, which that's another conversation altogether. But you know what you paid for it. So there's still a value on it. Now, what it's worth, you know what
He
I'm
don't
saying?
know because he ain't paid for that stuff either.
And it wasn't real. Like, that's why the shit ain't insured, because it ain't real. Because when, contrary to popular belief, when you insure, like Girl Is It Legal said the other day, you can have stuff insured like as part of a homeowner's, but if you're having it insured like as far as like jewelry, that's a separate thing, and you have to actually get it appraised, and there's certain things that you're required to do in order for that policy to be valid, like how you store it and all that good stuff. But you can't insure, like just like Danny just said, you can't insure fake shit.
You sure can.
I'm sorry, Pastor.
Just like that real stuff. Like from when you borrow stuff from, when famous people borrow stuff from jewelry companies, they come with armed guards and that follow you the whole time you have that shit on. And as soon as it's over, they take that shit off your body immediately. Sir.
Okay, this the last two things. He said that he is currently a presiding bishop, which means that he is a bishop over bishops. And he also said something about being a lead apostle or something to that effect.
Okay.
All right, now I'm done. Those are my notes from the interview he did on Hip Hop. I think it's Hip Hop Wired. I'll put the link in the chat so y'all can go check it out, child, because it was a whole mess. But go ahead.
I would like to speak to the bishops that he presides over. Find y'all a different presiding bishop, because that's inappropriate. He's not. He is not to. Jesus Christ.
I think Miss Kiki asked the question, did he ever address how he became a bishop? And I'm just going to say, he's not part of any denomination or any organization that I know of. So 9 times out of 10, and you can tell by the way his church is structured, 9 times out of 10, he's a storefront church. And I don't mean no ill towards storefront churches, but a lot of times in those storefront churches, they try to find someone to network, and they basically build I guess you would call a coalition or whatever, and they start making themselves apostles and bishops, and they are overseers and all kind of stuff. No type of protocol. It's just stuff that they have mimicked.
They just made up a church.
Yeah. They mimic other denominations or other non-denominations that have a structure form. So I do believe that he is one of those storefront churches that have just, named himself a bishop. And that's the reason why he cannot name 5 pastors that have been an influence to him. Even the bishop that he went under, if he couldn't name the bishop that he went under, what that tells me,
right? He didn't even
name. You don't know that man.
Probably that bishop that you went under, y'all done fell out because you in competition with him, or he feel like you tried to take his spot. So it's something weird with that whole setup. And now he's a presiding bishop, which tells you that he's now looking for people to come under him. And another thing that keys you in on him being a storefront church is these classes that he's offering. A lot of them, they treat the church as a business. So they create all these different types of classes that you can come to and get different unaccredited certifications, but I'm gonna leave that alone. And then for him to make that statement about, if you're not following a pastor that's, I guess, prosperous, that, I can agree with that somewhat, but not too much. I mean, my style of pastoring is this: I want to be able to relate to the people. So I want you to know that it's a struggle for me, just like it's a struggle for you. I mean, I have a good job, and I could go out and get a Mercedes if I want to, but I've always kind of toned it down because, I'm like, I could use that money helping my church or helping the people within my church instead of, just trying to shine in front of folks, because honestly, I can't drive a car that well anyway. And those Mercedes, they drive pretty fast. So I
wait a minute, what? Wait.
Baby, what you mean? You can't drive.
You got a crashing up car.
I feel like I'm gonna be the driver in this relationship.
I can't drive like that. So I don't need to be getting no.
I can't even drive the damn car.
Nah, it go a little bit too fast for me, So yeah. I'll stick with my little Mazda 3 or whatever.
That's okay. Your first lady could drive the Benz.
Right, she got me. Evie got me.
Got you.
But then I want to tell you about Larry Reed. So Larry Reed, I know him from when he lived in Raleigh before he started, his blogging, and he got real big as a blogger. He was a pastor here in Raleigh, nice church in Raleigh. All of his members, they basically moved to Atlanta with him when he stopped pastoring. But Larry, he knows a lot of preachers. And so them two, I don't care what nobody say, them two know each other. I mean, they said they kind of confirmed they met, maybe once or twice. But no, you got some type of relationship. Because see, Larry, when he first went in on him, he didn't say too much of nothing, but he just reported the story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times, if Larry don't know somebody, he will clown somebody. And he could have clowned him, but he didn't clown him. And now you see more facts come out after the man approaches him and get nasty with him. Now Larry throws everything out there. So they had some type of relationship. They ain't fooling nobody with that. That's why you can run around calling him the F word and all that good old stuff, because you had some type of relationship with him. That's the bottom line.
And for him, and I'm gonna say this too, for him to have claimed that he don't know Larry Reed, but about his molestation, Larry Reed.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's been very public about his story, but it ain't like he talk about it every time he go live. Unlike you, sir, that talk about your father being, killed and everything else. So it wasn't that type of situation. Yeah. So yeah, I agree that there's definitely more there. Hey,
I'm
Xavier,
still waiting to connect the dot between his father being murdered and all of these things.
Yeah. And any preacher, I don't care what nobody say, but any preacher, especially in this day and time, that can use the F word or speak against, alternative lifestyles, you got to question what their lifestyle is.
Say it again.
Especially with such venom. Like the reality of the situation, the way he speaks on it, there's a lot of venom in that. And even with his example with Mace, why was your example about a woman who allegedly got saved and wasn't gay no more, and now she's questioning her life because her pastor has left? Like, why is your example of a gay person? Like, it just seemed like everything, and even when he said, because he told on, see, you gotta listen when people talk. You told on yourself when you said that your uncle used to call you that when you was a kid. Your uncle used to call you the F word all the time. And he said, I didn't even know anything about homosexuality back then, so he couldn't have been calling me that. Yes, he could have.
Yes, he could, because your uncle was grown and he knew what it meant.
Right, because you don't have to know, but your uncle knew.
My question is, I know I'm a big guy and I can't wear some of this stuff, but I ain't never seen no whole Gucci outfit, no Fendi outfit like that.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Like, what the fuck you got on, bro?
Right. What he does is he mix and matches, right? Some of the stuff that he wears is real, but some of that stuff he wear ain't real. But it blends in with what's kind of out there, so people are like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Because he talking about something, I like to find stuff that don't nobody else have. Yeah, because they don't sell it.
Don't nobody want it because it's ugly.
Well, not only that, but you find the stuff that don't nobody else have because they don't sell it at the store.
So I'm not, my denomination is AME. Okay, so we basically, we very structured, especially when we have our, conferences or whatever that would be considered convocations to, like, Culture Church or whatever. But do they dress flashy like that? Do preachers dress flashy like that in convocation with Fendi suits like that? I mean, they wear
I've seen flashy suits, but that is crazy. I mean, we've all seen pastors that wear the flashy suits and stuff, but the logo stuff like that. First of all, let me say this. I think what not people, but I think the part that he's missing is it's gaudy. The stuff is gaudy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right, because I know pastors who got like $10,000 suits that are tailored to perfection. But it's just a plain black suit.
Right.
Because here's the part that a lot of people, I'm not saying a lot of people like, because people know, but Gucci sell regular suits.
They do.
You don't have to get the monogrammed Gucci. Fendi sells regular suits. Armani, Tom Ford, like, impress me. Fill your closet full of Tom Ford suits. How about that? Tailored Tom Ford suits. Then I'm impressed.
This is how I know that he's a storefront church, because of all of that flashiness. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a flashy suit, but when it has that label all the way down and you looking like a blanket.
Right.
It's screaming, look at me, notice me, look at me.
Exactly.
And as a pastor, you're supposed to decrease you.
Right.
God. They need to see God in you when they look at you. They should not see Gucci, Fendi. They shouldn't see that, beloved. And even if you are wearing those things, it shouldn't be where that covers the entirety of the suits. That's all you.
Like there's still a way. There's a way to wear designer stuff and it still look classy. Like again, he doesn't look. It's very déclassé. You know what I'm saying? And Morgan, you said earlier about the classes. I didn't say that he was charging $5,000. He was saying that the information that he's giving, he could charge like it's worth $5,000. According to him, the classes are free. But people who have taken the class says that they do ask for money. $500. They ask for $500 and they want your social security number. And I wish I would.
What? They want your social security number for a class on how to become a real estate mogul.
Right.
Step 1, don't give them niggas your social security number.
No, go ahead and give it to them. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let me know how that work out with you.
You're going to have 6 more Cullinans fooling with you and your social security.
Right. Well, since you bring that up, let's talk about the New York, I believe it was the New York Post. Where my notes article?
It was a rental. What happened?
Oh no, it's
he
deep.
Bought it with that $90,000 he stole from that woman who was not his permission.
It's deeper than that. Forget about that. Listen, that $90,000 ain't ish compared to
what he done did.
Child,
what was his PP loan for? Jesus.
Let's get into it if we're gonna get into it now. It starts okay. So the article it starts off with his father, and so we get the whole story of what happened with his father. So his father was he was a businessman, but he also was a community. He was active in the community, and people in the community knew him. He organized, drives and fundraisers and stuff like that. There was a situation where a guy was being illegally detained by the police, and people in the neighborhood went and got his father because, again, he was such a well-known person in the neighborhood. It was like, yo, so-and-so needs your help. The police are hassling him. And come to find out the guy was his brother, was the brother, or they were a relation. He shows up. His father showed up to the scene, and his father had a gun on his hip. At the time, this was in 1970. I didn't write the year down. I think it was 1978, New York. The gun was legal. It was illegal. He had it licensed and all that good stuff. The police saw the gun, and y'all know what happened next. They said that his father, they had him in a chokehold. Father was foaming at the mouth. They put him in the back of the squad car. They said his father's legs were hanging out the back, like hanging out the window. And of course, he was pronounced DOA at the hospital. That was his father. Now, he was the youngest son, allegedly. No, I shouldn't say allegedly. He was the youngest son of his father because that wasn't allegedly. That part ain't allegedly. So they told the story of his father, how his father passed away. Now, they jumped. He went to college. He went to some college in New Mexico. He got a degree in finance and videography or something. I don't know, child. I don't even know how that's connected. But anyway, so let's fast forward. He started working. He started working at a brokerage firm, and the offices were out of the Empire State Building. Now, the way this article was written, he says it was his brokerage firm. The way this article was written, he worked at the brokerage firm, which is probably closer to the truth, child. Now, in 2005, this is where the criminal activity begins. In 2005, a woman called the police and made a police report that said somebody bought a motorcycle in her name. They had all of her information and they purchased the motorcycle in her name. A couple of weeks later, the police pulled over a man on a motorcycle that matched the description that was the motorcycle, and it was him. Lamar, I think at the time he was still spelling his name with O-R, Lamar Whitehead. Now, if y'all remember in his interview with, I want to say it was either Fat Joe or Tasha K. Child, because at this point I can't even remember. Remember, it was Tasha K. Remember, Tasha K said, "Well, how did you get on the police's radar?" And he said, "Well, I was running with the wrong crowd, and I felt like somebody in that crowd got arrested, and they gave the police my name." Sir, this story is totally different. The people in your crowd didn't get the police your name. The woman you stole from gave the police your name. Now, what happened was the girlfriend that he was dating at the time had the job where she was had access to people's credit reports, and that is how he was getting these names. And allegedly, according to the police record, now this is on record. This ain't me making it up. This ain't the New York Post making it up. According to his trial, his criminal record. Your light went out, boo. Oh, okay. According to his criminal record, that motorcycle was just the tip of the iceberg. He had multiple vehicles that he had purchased, and that's where the identity theft comes into play with what he was charged with. Remember, he was charged with identity theft. Mm-hmm. He was purchasing cars in these people's names, and he was getting the names from his girlfriend at the time. Now, while he was waiting for his case to come up, according to the court documents, he continued to commit crimes. He filed bankruptcy in 2006, and then he reached out to a conductor for, I don't know, he was like on Broadway or something, but he's a well-known conductor who he had actually helped him buy his house. He was his broker when he bought his brownstone. He reached out to him, and he said, I'm in a, I need to borrow $200,000, but I promise you that, basically he was like, I promise you that I'll get you back $250,000, right?
Pause. How the Dollar Tree audacity to ask someone, let me hold $200,000 is astounding to me. Well, I barely want to ask somebody for $20. You got the big Dollar General balls to ask somebody for $200,000.
But what's worse is the dude gave it to him. The dude took out a lot of credit on his house to get a man $200,000.
Just like all them people gonna get him his Social Security number for that class.
Right. Yep. So obviously the man didn't pay him back. So the guy sued him. Sort of like this woman with the $90,000, the guy sued him, and he said that the article said that he received the papers while he was in jail for this other crime, and the man won a judgment of $306,000. They probably gave him interest and stuff like that. Now, the article said that he got out of jail in 2013. It said he got out of jail on good behavior, not because of a technicality. It said he got out of jail for good behavior. Mm-hmm. But, he got out early.
He doesn't know what the word exonerated means, but okay.
Well, this is what I'm going to say right here, baby. It is 2022. Why does it take 9 years for an exoneration? I mean, if you was really going to be exonerated.
Sir, you did it.
He guilty. And then he came out of jail and created a church. That's the easiest way to make
That's money. Exactly what they said. They said within 2 months of him being out of jail, he started this church.
Yep.
That's now, in 2019, he stopped paying on his Benz and his Range Rover, and he got another judgment against him for $68,000.
Yeah, boy. Oh.
And later on in that year, he wrote a check for $163,000 for the home he was building, and that check bounced.
Who would take a check from him? Who paid a check for $100,000 from this nigga? If it was a cashier's check, I could understand because that's guaranteed.
I didn't even know people were still writing checks, much less for $160.
He took his checkbook out of his back pocket.
Listen, when I bought
and asked to borrow a pen to write a check.
So this is really. I'm sorry. I can't believe this man got robbed. I just can't believe it.
Listen, when I bought my house, and my money was with the credit union. And they were still like, we need a cashier's check when you come for closing, ma'am. I still had to show up with a cashier's check. How do you just show up with a check, with a regular old checkbook check? I don't know how you do that. And I promise you, it wasn't for no $163,000. Now listen, I can promise y'all it wasn't for that kind of money.
Xavier.
What did Xavier say? I used to see checks all the time at the grocery store.
You could write a $50 check for your groceries. You're not finna take out your checkbook and ask the cashier to borrow a pen to write a check for $100,000. You're not finna do that. You're not finna do that. Also, Xavier, the exonerated 5 didn't do the crime they were exonerated for, hence their name being the exonerated 5.
What is Xavier saying?
Talk about they was in jail for 13 years.
But, sir,
that's okay. If they had not been exonerated, they would still be in jail right now for a crime they did not commit.
That is why they got
out for good behavior, even though he did the crime that they said he did. Therein lies the difference.
So we have proof that he got out on good behavior.
I'm just telling you what the article said, child. That's what the article has said. Now, I'm almost done with the article because I'm just giving y'all the highlights. Y'all can go read the whole article. I'm just giving y'all the highlights, child. Because some of the stuff we already know. Like, I don't need to keep repeating. Some of the stuff we already know. Now, in 2020, that's where this $90,000 comes into place with this woman. To give y'all the short version, she visited his church. She invested out of her retirement fund. She took $90,000 to invest with him. She changed her mind. I don't know. She came down to reality.
No, get it back.
Yeah, her daughter told her to get the money back. And when she called him, he told her, no, the money was invested. You can't get it back. But this just so happens to be around the same time that he was buying a $4.4 million home in New Jersey. That $90,000 probably came in real handy, huh?
It sure did.
What you mean I can't get my money back? 2 days ago. Give me my money back.
You said she was retired.
It was her retirement account, yeah. Now they say at the end of service every Sunday, he has his donation envelopes and he starts at $1,000. And basically, he asked people to come and get the envelope. You know, basically, if you want to donate $1,000 a day, come get the $1,000.
Who got $1,000? I've been. I hate this. I hate it.
And they say it keeps going down until basically people take the envelopes. And they said, on this
I hate when they do offerings like that. I hate it.
Hold on. And they said by the end of, like, on this particular Sunday when they were there observing, you know, the service, he had gotten all the way down to like $150 before anybody took the envelope. So you started at $1,000, sir, but on that particular Sunday, I ain't saying you don't never get it, but on that particular Sunday, you got $150.
What idiot will start at $1,000 in the place that they was having the church in?
Right.
Who in there got $1,000?
My thing is, listen, I don't have no problem with humble beginnings, but I need to know where we're going on this train, sir. Listen, if I'm donating $1,000, I know this better not be the answer.
We better get out the hotel.
Listen, this just happened at my church when we had that March Money Madness and that financial fast and stuff. And a bunch of people donated a lot of money to the church. And the pastor said it's going to the sound system and the lights and stuff. And then we saw the lights and the sound system upgrade. We saw the fruits of
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not against the church. I have given to the church. I have tithed regularly. I mean, not probably in the last 5 years, but when I was going to church regularly, I was a tither. I probably still need to be paying my tithes to somebody, but that's another conversation for another day. But I have no problems with that. The church that I was going to, I saw the fruits of our labor. Like, I saw when stuff was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw it. So I don't have no problem with that. But what we not going to be doing,
you'll never change the light bulbs because you ain't got the. You know what?
But what we're not going to do is have service every Sunday over top of a Haitian restaurant in the middle of the hood. And you standing in front of me in red bottoms and a Fendi suit. We're not doing that, sir.
Hey, Mr. Pisces.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Pisces?
We're not, listen.
Not a Nigerian priest, a prince.
Listen, for me, if my past, let me speak for my daddy. who was a pastor, and it was a small Baptist church in a rural area. My father had a good car. We had a nice house. We was always in good clothes. We always had food in the refrigerator. My dad got a small stipend from the church, but that nigga was an architect. He was paid. So the church wasn't paying for none of his things, none of our things. Now they had made sure he had cold juice on Sundays, but that's about it. That was all the perks he got was the ice cold apple juice on the Sunday. Everything else was any ties and stuff went to the maintenance and care of the church and any church activities that they was finna have, like the big church cookout and the Halloween thing for the kids and all that kind of stuff. Child, I don't
like what Jonathan just said. Jonathan was like, listen, when he said that he can afford to buy Benz, he said, because I have a good job. He ain't say because the church didn't pay me good. And I don't know, I'm not getting into his financial business. I don't know what he makes from the church, but he said because I have a good job. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with this man out here making money and doing the things, but it's for gay. Thank you, C. Golden. It's for Gazy. It's for Gazy.
It's crazy, and he is doing damage to the body of Christ. And I really want him to go somewhere and sit down.
Yeah,
and stop acting like he is a representative, because not the God I serve, sir. And this shows me that I feel like you've been getting warnings for a long time from the Lord to get yourself together and get on the right path and do the right thing. Because this uncovering of you all at one time, every time you go out here to open your mouth, sir.
He gonna have time while he in jail. Cause hey, what's up, mother? He gonna have time because his ass about to listen. He about to do 10 to 15, so he gonna have time.
Yeah, he headed straight to jail. He because that retirement money just in itself, he's a goner there.
Well, according to the people on the street, and listen, this is all allegedly. According to the people on the street, he got all kinds of liens and foreclosures and robbing Peter to pay Paul. The TikTok investigators allegedly got him linked to Fendi shirt. Y'all remember when he did his press conference, the lady in the Fendi shirt that came out and ended the press conference when they started asking too many questions. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, he was out Sunday night at an event with her on his arm instead of his wife. Well, I saw the footage. I can't say it was allegedly, but just because they were together don't mean they was together. But that's what So
why do you have a female adjutant? Where your male armor bearers? Why is it a girl?
Allegedly, your wife been staying at a hotel and has scrubbed you. That part ain't allegedly because I can't find you.
He absolutely scrubbed him from her.
And I know you. And listen, I know for a fact that he used to be on her social media because, like I said, I didn't know him. I knew her, and I think it was you, Abby. Somebody shared her with me one time or sent me her link. It was somebody.
Because I don't know that woman. I don't follow her. I've never heard of her a day before in my life. So
okay, well, it was somebody. I don't know, somebody, because she, like I said, she does morning prayer and she does Bible study. And I remember when she got pregnant, the two of them, I didn't know who he was at the time, though, but I remember there were videos of, they had their gender reveal video on her Instagram page. Her baby shower on her Instagram page when she was pregnant. It was pictures of them all, like, he was all over her Instagram. I know that for a fact. I just didn't know who he was at the time. But I remember seeing the pictures. And like even something like her gender reveal, it's gone. It's not on her page anymore.
Now Morgan asked a good question. Like, have we heard anything else from anybody outside of that church?
No.
I haven't. I mean, in the article they do.
That's my question. Why is nobody going to try to figure out who the parishioners are of this church?
Well, in the New York Post article, there was a quote from a member, and of course, she was saying how great he was as a pastor, and
that's that same little girl who put off the press conference. We need to talk. That
probably was the same girl, child. Now he's LER said she know her husband out here scamming. Don't hide now. But it sounds like to me she's setting up for a divorce, is what it sounds like to me.
She can get a divorce. She ain't gonna get no money, and you gonna get half of that marital debt is what you're gonna get.
And people can say what they want to say about Larry Reed, but a lot of what Larry Reed has said has come to pass because he said he was the one that pointed out the fact that she was at a hotel. And I went back and looked at her Instagram, and you could tell her background was different from the background she'd been using. And then the other day when he went live to explain about the FBI, he made a comment. Well, I heard that she's moving back home. He said a little birdie told me that she's moving back home. And if you look at her Instagram, she's back home. Well, with that same backdrop. So that's interesting. Me too, KK. Somebody shared her with me. I like her too. I do. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I watch her every morning, but I have watched her. And like I said, she does Bible study, and I have enjoyed it, virtually, for as much as you could enjoy it virtually. Now, like I said, I ain't even about to sit here and say I watch her every Sunday, because that'd be a lie. But I do remember her getting pregnant, and I know he was on her Instagram. I just didn't know who he was. But I remember her husband. Well, now they trying to say that the people might not even be married, child. That ain't my business. I know that ain't my business.
There's no marriage certificate for these people?
Abby, nope, they can't find. They can't. The internet detectives can't find the marriage certificate, child.
Can I just say something about the internet detectives?
Sure.
Or at least that one white lady on TikTok.
She's obsessed.
I don't know why this is, but I do not like her videos. I understand what she's doing in the service that she's trying to provide, but it's offensive to me. I feel like she and black people business. It's like I'd be like, oh no, daughter, who asked you for any? Please go. No. I appreciate you, but it just feels like, oh, you in business that's not yours, love. Go sit down.
Listen, them internet detectives over to the Instagram. Listen. She has the Breakfast of Champions series. That's been that's what I'm saying. Now listen, y'all. Now I gotta question everything now, but I did enjoy her. I ain't about to sit here and lie to y'all. She was. I used to get a word from her. I ain't gonna lie. I used to get a word.
The Lord gonna get a word through, regardless of who the messenger is.
Yeah, so. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Sometimes I would click it in the morning and listen, and just have it playing. And I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it was food for my soul, child. I felt the same way about that whole white lady and that damn to go.
Okay, because I was like, Lord, and my prejudice and my racist, Jesus, but I just feel like, no, ma'am, you in business that you should not be in. I understand that this man is a scam and a scammer, but I just, every time, and every time she get up there, and she was like, and look at this, and look at this, and I'm like, okay, I can't.
I'm gonna say this. Do I think Miss KK said? Miss Kiki, said? Do I think the wife is involved? I think she's complicit. Do I think she's a part of it? No, because he been scamming long before he met her. But do I think she's complicit in it? Because the reality is, your husband don't make no money at that damn church. So the way y'all living, like you living in $1 million home, y'all got designers, this and jewelry, and you have to say, well, where's the damn money coming from? It's the same as if you dating a drug dealer. And every morning he go to work and he working at the mall, but y'all living in $1 million home and driving, $100,000 cars. That mall job is not like, the money coming from somewhere else.
Tony Soprano's wife was complicit.
You know what I'm saying?
I think she just like any other first lady of I guess you would say mega church or whatever. They spend the money. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't think she out there helping him. I don't think she out there running. I don't think she out there running licks. But I do think that she's complicit, and she know that the money ain't legit.
Because I've heard some stories about her and her mother selling prayer cloths, money cloths.
You know what? I did hear something about them selling the prayer cloths.
Lord, I keep on buying them prayer cloths and that water from that man that come on TV, the spring water. Miracle water.
Child, I did hear about that. Now I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I did hear about that, y'all. These people are a mess.
Xavier said, "Ain't nothing mega about that." Oh God.
Listen, and then if you go back and you look at the pictures from when the New York Times was there taking pictures, it was like 5 people in there.
First of all, when Larry Reed called your upstairs apartment church, I had to lay down on the floor. I had to get down on the floor.
Let me tell you something. Listen. I don't always rock with Larry Reed. I'm gonna be honest. I don't always rock with Larry Reed. But sometimes funny is funny. Like sometimes funny is funny.
Listen, when he called that boy Lie Moore, I said, okay, well, so we just gonna change that nigga's name. All right. He said, "Cause you lie, you lie, you lie." And then he got up and started running around in the
when he ran around. I said, I can't do this with him. I can't do this with him. Yep, pimps in the pulpit, y'all. Pimps in the pulpit.
They are. That's why you have to have a level of discernment.
I think that I have a lot of respect for Larry Reed because he came out of pastoring. I mean, he's still spiritual and stuff, and he still uses his gifts. But, and even though he can be messy, I do think that for the most part he's pretty real, and he's quite hilarious.
He is,
and he is very honest and transparent. And he not gonna tell you. He says it all the time. I don't even talk about it until it's made public.
That's how he covers himself because he doesn't report the news, but he will expand on it when it's out there. He'll give you some breadcrumbs. Now he will give you the breadcrumbs, but
And I want to know if this man is such a scammer and so criminal savvy, how he don't know the number one rule of breaking the law is to keep your damn mouth shut. Why you don't know that, sir? Why you don't know? They don't know nothing until you tell them.
There's a level. That's that narcissism. It's that I need to let you know how smart I am because I think I'm smarter than you. It's that narcissism, man. There was a book called Pimps in the Pulpit. Was he in it?
Oh,
I think I remember hearing about that book. But child, was he in it?
Jesus. Hallelujah.
Listen,
and I really want people to understand that when you tithe, you don't have to just tithe your money. Because what if you ain't got no money? Then what? Then you tithe in your time. It's the same, and it works the same. The principle works the same way. So
he absolutely is a narcissist. He absolutely is a narcissist.
People, oh God.
That's why he's not gonna stop talking because I know they done told him to shut his mouth. I know they have.
I know somebody. You listen. He seems to.
I want them to tell him to keep his mouth closed. Get him some regular glasses. Tone it down.
Not regular glasses, babe.
Hey, why you hating on the man glasses?
Cause he just too much.
You never knew I was this shady. I'm not shady.
Like the level of hubris in this man. Like I don't, sir. Do you watch and I'm sure he's watching himself back. Like, yeah, I did that. You ain't about this life. First of all, how you gonna say you threatening me? You in fear for my life? And then the 30 seconds later, mother said.
Mother, you don't even have to do me like that.
I can't. Listen, he said, I'm fearing for my life. Let me screenshot this because this is a threat. This is a threat. But you can come down here to New York. You ain't about that life. You ain't going to bust a grape in a fruit fight. Sir, you can't say I'm in fear for my life and I'm going to sue you for threatening me and then invite you to where I live to come fight me. That's not how
any of this works.
Sir.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He is. He's obsessed. He has probably
obsessed with me, boy. I need to know.
Well, really, B, I thank you for letting me come up.
Yeah, because I'm about to get off of here too. I said an hour.
My wifey, Evie.
Husband.
Oh Lord, goodbye. Anyway, thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And y'all, please hit the like button on your way out the door. It is both what, y'all? Free 99. Ebby and I will be back tomorrow morning on Kamisha Reviews to discuss tonight's episode of Ready to Love.
Did you see that they're creating a story for this Alonzo boy about him dating
Listen.
I'm so sick of them. Did you hear me go off in the chat? Because
I'm not entertaining that. Sure it is. People threaten me and say I'm a punk for not coming to their town for them to whoop me up. What are you talking about, mother?
It sure is. People threaten me and mother.
Well, we know people be threatening you, child.
All the time for no damn reason.
For no damn reason. And I don't know how many times you gotta come down here and whoop people ass for them to leave you alone, but you know.
Listen, it don't take one good ass whooping and people learn it.
Listen, that you would think, but these people are like Rocky. They just keep coming back for more.
Listen, I don't. You're silly. Listen, I'm trying. I hope that is good because if not,
I told you I'm still wore out from the pool with that little boy. It was a slide there and he kept going up the slide, and I had to keep walking him up the slide because, of course, you know, I had to make sure he got up the steps and he was good. Child, we must have went up them damn steps 10 times. I said, little boy, you not ready for lunch yet? No, I'm not ready to eat. Yes, you are. Let's go.
Whew. He said, no, you're ready to eat. I said slide now.
Listen, I said, how many more times we going to go down the slide? He said 2 more. I said, okay, we're going to count 2 more. 2 turned into 6, but we eventually got to
count like he's a natural fitness instructor because them niggas can't count either. They get down 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 6 more. Nigga, you said 3 more. How did we jump back to 6? Listen,
okay. All right, y'all.
Mother said you can be scared and then threaten people down here. That you can be scared and then threaten them. Listen.
That's because people are internet gangsters. It's online, so they don't, you know, it's online, but let you show up in real life. They be like Debo. I be quiet. I be talking.
As soon as he walk in, I be talking
again. Be some real Debo type ish going on, child.
Honey, baby, listen. All right, I need you to watch.
I'm about to watch Ready to Love now, and then I'm going to bed. I'll do my review in the morning. I gotta run a couple of errands before the panel tomorrow. I gotta go to the bank, and I need to stop by Marshall's.
I gotta go.
And I think I need to go by the post office because I think Chris's birthday gift finally came, so I gotta mail that.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I'm out. Mwah.
Peace and blessings, beloved.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Oh, here come a troll, child. Lord.
He gone already.